Welcome to IGQ TV's next unboxing video. This is one of our large boxes. It contains enough for 35 kits. And this is a robots and spaceships box. So we guarantee that 35 robots and or spaceships can be made. Often a couple more can be made depending on how large you make them. So let's open it up and see what we have in it. All right, so our information, which also come with some instructions and some ideas on how to do some robots and spaceships. Right, now we have foam. Foam is great because you can cut it with normal scissors, but it's got some stiffness and also some softness. So we find kids, you can cut arms, you can cut legs, antennas. Maybe your robot needs 6 arms, but it's easy to cut with scissors and can be thing features. Right, stars. If you're going into space, you need stars. It may be that you can use these for eyes. They can be used to decorate the robots, or sometimes we find that people want to set up a diorama. Recently, my daughter made a bilby, and once we're done, she decided it needed a house. So then we needed to make the house. You could use the stars as backing scenes. Now, the stars are in trays. So we have these grey trays, and these are actually sticking a bit. There we go. These can be great to be robots. So you can stick items in and put arms and legs on and put a head on top perhaps. You can turn them the other way. We also have people who do them as faces of a robot on something else. Lots of ways you can use those as bodies. All right, so this one has little connectors. So these are gold and green little connectors. They're hollow, so you can use wire or string to thread them on. They make great antennas. I've also seen kids use string and tie them on as arms, and you can then make joints. So if you tie 2 together with wire, you can bend them, so you actually have arms that move. And there's a nice set of those there. We have some plastic, the hair, arms. Maybe your spaceship needs a landing cushion so that when it comes down more like a hovercraft has, and you build your ship on top of one of these. Fabric and fabric samples. Lots of different fabric samples in here. So when we get to the body, you can wrap them up. So everyone's robot can be its own unique color. You may want it to have stripes. It may be metallic gray. This fabric says it's a shiny platinum. So everyone's robot can be different because we all know everyone has their own idea. Right. We have some circles for heads, perhaps large eyes. Some shiny plates that maybe could be the chest of your robot. And now we have some of the body shapes. Now, all our little pieces that are packed in boxes, you can use these to keep the pieces in, but they also can be the body of a robot. So when you're done with them, you can use them. You can also use these trays for sorting out for a while. So one of the cool things we worked with a group, and they were using DVDs to be the body of the robot, or CD cases. So they had the kids choose pieces and decorate inside. So there were some screws, different things they put inside, some stickers and string. Then they had the kids stick them to a piece of paper and draw arms and legs out. You can hang these off as legs, but it was a great way to see the inside of a robot, and that worked well. That's one way of using these cases. We have more of these boxes. Great for robots. These might be robots or They could be a ship. And lots more. So we have more of these. You can see are often used for things. We also have what we call our holy rectangles. And they come in different colours. They have thinness and thickness. And they are great for being the base of the robot. Now, if you have younger kids, these can be great because we can put things actually through them. We can thread wire through them or string and tie things straight on, so you don't even have to use glue. And we have enough of those that everyone can make one. Now, all of our kits, we won't get, the way reverse garbage works is we don't expect everyone's to look the same. Everyone will get to make a robot, but you won't get 35 brown rectangles because we want each child to use their own imagination and their own skills to create their own individual robot. You can challenge them maybe for a certain task, or afterwards it's always fun to ask the kids to explain what they've made and why they've made it. Okay. More holy rectangles coming out. And some boxes, so we can do them that way so you just see it. Or it may be that you want your robot to have little places to store. You could put a heart in, you could put a brain in, you could put different things in there. A little toolbox, the robot opens itself up. Right, we have some card here, some cardstock and some shiny paper. This is perfect again for doing features. We have some shiny ones, some different colours. So you can just make arms out of them. You can cut features out. You can stick on any other bits that you need with some glue. Some sticky foam. So this is sticky. You can cut it with normal scissors. You can have the kids cut them. They could make eyebrows. They could do eyes. They can stick arms on. Maybe they want to cut a number out or a triangle. Some sort of buttons to press on the robot. Some more foam in different colours. Some lycra fabric strips. Now these are great because you can use them to decorate, but you can also use them to tie things on. So say you wanted to have a tail or something, you could tie it on. You can even just tie it around one of the shapes as some legs if you wanted to, if we're trying to go very simply. Nice lycra there. Cup lids. These are great often as heads because they're round, or they can be wheels. Say you have a robot with wheels. Who said robots have to have legs? They may need wheels to go on. I also think they kind of look like they could be the edges of a satellite or your spaceship. They could be attached to one of these bodies as a spaceship. Some more case bodies. So you can see there's plenty here for the bodies. The other thing we often use are cups. Cover these with some fabric and you've got your nice robot shape. Maybe you put it on top of one of these as the head, and we're starting to get into a robot. We have some smaller cups as well. You can draw on these. Maybe it's an antenna at the top of the robot head. One of the things that's fun is to let kids explore the materials first and start stacking and thinking about, what could I make this with? What could this be? What could I use this as? Now for the older people, they will remember these. These are our floppy disks. This is how material used to be stored using a computer. So we also just use them now. They could be the body of your robot, because no one really needs Microsoft Word 6 on a floppy disk anymore. Okay, we have some other decorative items. We have a nice keyboard insert, which has got little circuits on that can be cut up. We have some silver fabric and some small pieces of foam that are already cut up. More silver, perfect for adding the decorative touches. We have some binding combs, legs, claws. No one said robots had to be helpful. Maybe you have a robot with claws that's coming to get you. They can be cut up easily. More cups, so there's enough for everyone to build their robot, or maybe their spaceship. Maybe they've got their spaceship going together, and we're going to have things coming out, and that's going to go through space like a satellite. We have some white rubber, perfect for cutting. It can be wings, it can be fins, again can be cut with normal scissors if you need to be, and then joined on. We have corks, great for smaller heads, also good to make satellites, things, and some champagne cork pieces, which I think when you add to the top of these, start looking very robot antenna-ish. Simple to put together. You have also gone as far as the simplest spaceship to be joining some rubber, if you cut the fins to size, to a cork, and there you have your spaceship. Just work out what shape wings you'd like. So enough corks for everyone. Here we have some legs. We have unused lids that are perfect. We also have some reels. Maybe you wanted a taller robot. Well, then we can put our robot on legs. He wants legs to stand on, so this one's not standing. But we can attach them with hot glue, or you can wire them on, and it'll be well set up to do that. There's some little legs for your robot. I'm running out of space here. You get a lot in the large boxes. We have some other lid shapes and circle shapes. We have some nice shiny CDs. They can be bodies as well. You can also join them together, and I think these are great if you want to do maybe a satellite or some sort of spacecraft. And some other circle shapes as well. These ones already have holes in, so you can cover them with foam and things. Maybe join them together with one of these and start getting something that will fly through space. Lots of different ways that you can explore them. A bag of stickers. We have some nice shiny silver sticker paper. We have black, we have some red, we have some blue and some pink, and we have some black circles. So you can stick buttons on, you can cut shapes out. Maybe you need racing stripes on your robot because it's extra fast. But these are stickers ready to be cut up by the children into whatever shape they'd like. Some smaller lids, again for buttons or eyes or legs. We have some microfiche film. So once upon a time, this is how you went and read old newspapers or found information online. But it's clear and it looks very electronic. It looks like you could stick it on the front of a cup or the front of a robot, so that it gives it a much more electronic or button look. Some hard plastic, different option for arms, legs, antennas. One of the things we often suggest is asking kids, what is their robot going to do? Is it going to be a robot for moving heavy things, so it needs strong arms? Is it going to be a robot for tickles, in which case maybe like Mr. Tickle, it wants really long, soft, flexible arms. Like, what is their robot going to do? What do they want it to be able to do? And then work out what sort of arms it has. Does it have legs? Does it have wheels? Now here we also have some other bits that you could use as heads. I've already included some here, but we have some coloured circle shapes. We have a box of different things that we suggest the kids can explore and work out what they would like to use with them. Some plastic bits. Maybe we need antennas coming out of the lids, and these even have numbers on. Maybe it's something that you can add to your robot and you turn it to the number you need. You need it to do number 2. When you do number 2, it jumps up and down. When you do number 10, it spins around. Lots of different ways the kids can have these work for their robots. We have some other pieces that are good for arms, appendages as we call them, arms, legs, antennas. We have some hard plastic, some soft plastic, some card, some different things that can be glued or attached on to use them. Some more CDs. We also have, this is one of the things that we find that kids love, some electronic components. So into the foam you can stick some of these little wire parts, or we have little parts of different circuit panels and things that you can add, because everyone knows our robots need some type of electrical pieces, and we've included enough in here that everyone can have some type of component. We find some kids just want to attach them across as an arm. They can be down, they can be attached different ways, however you'd like them to be. And here we have a bag of eyes, nose, mouth and buttons. So this is just a bag of different pieces. This is the sort of stuff that maybe if you were doing the CD robots I talked about earlier, you would glue some of these inside. So we have buttons, we have washers, we have little plastical bits from electrical pieces, and all sorts of things that you can insert and glue on to make eyes, nose, mouths, crosses, and different things for, again, decorating your robots. And the very last thing, which is one of the most important things coming out, are our joining materials. So we have bodies, we have stickers, we have fabric, we have lots of decorative, but it helps to have some ways to join it all together. Now, glue is always a useful thing, either PVA or home glue, but we include some rope for tying things on. We have some curtain hooks. You can thread different things on with these. You can stick them through the foam. If I get one of my holy rectangles, you can, with these, fairly easily bend them and stick them through. And suddenly, you have a robot with an arm. So it can be simple with this. With some of the things, if you don't use glue, then you can rebuild them time after time. We also have old electrical cords. Now, these can be used to tie items on with. They can be threaded through the holes, or often they're charging ports. One of the things I've noticed with kids today is that they expect things to be able to be charged. They understand this because they've grown up with electronics, so they often want a charging cord. So they put this in and they're like, well, that's the charging cord. That's where it goes home. more of our electrical pieces and charging cords. We have some sticky foam. This is just little pieces of sticky foam that you can use to join two pieces together, or again for features. Some more black sticky foam that you can cut out. We have a white sticky rubber that you can use. The white one's also good because you can draw on it. So you can have the kids draw features on and it will come off. Some rubber. Here is some grip tape sticky things. It's got a different texture, so kids can even mix up the texture. And more wires. Some rubber. Maybe they need big floppy arms. And then we also have some string. You can always tie things on. The kids can tie knots or bows, then they can tie things on, or you can cut some pieces to make some tufts of hair. We have some pretty braid, and we also have some Velcro. You can stick one side of the Velcro down on one piece and on the other, or maybe your robot needs to have Velcro arms so it can pick things up. One way you can make the kids help clean the carpet, the robot can go over and pull things out of the carpet. Some more sticky foam in different shapes. And then a little bit of elastic, because elastic can be good. And then our last thing is our wire. Perfect hang. Now the great thing with this wire is it's soft enough that you can cut it with normal scissors, but it is strong. So you have some colours, some white and some brown, and a lot of the robots can be put together using the wire by putting holes through things, tying it on, twisting, or you can make a feature of it, the fact that it has wire, because we tend to think of metals as being more robotic. So this is an example of everything that's in a large robots and spaceships box that you can explore and see some of the samples that you can make. Thanks.